Uh, now, now since COVID, Mike, there's been a lot of these virtual events, essentially virtual networking events organized by various types of organizations, and some organizations that I have personally been a part of, where before COVID it was mostly on-site networking. Now it's more so. Actually, some of the ones that I'm a part of that were they're completely still online. Now I'm maybe it's just me. Like I'm maybe a little bit old fashioned in the sense that I prefer on site, in person, like physical events where I can actually meet people, shake their hands, really build that personal connection. I personally feel like the virtual events are not the same. Like I just can't seem to build the same kind of connections as I would in an in-person event. But what are your thoughts on that? Like virtual, like if a person had the choice between attending virtual events versus these physical, on-site, on-location networking events, I mean, is one better than the other? Are there pros and cons? Like which one? What are your thoughts on this whole virtual events versus on-site events?
Yeah, it's a great question. I am not an expert on all of the research studies and psychological tests in terms of like why certain things work and why don't regarding this topic. But I will tell you, based on what I've read and my personal experience, there is something about meeting someone in person where even the mere fact where you're able to shake someone's hand and
Yeah.
get a tactile touch or whatever, there's something about that. There's something about uh, tapping into all six senses, or all five
Yeah.
senses, I should say. Um, that allows us to connect with someone more easily. Now, would I take that and say, well, is in-person networking automatically better for people? Probably, but not necessarily. If you're gonna have to commute an hour and a half, 2 hours each way to get to an event, and you're not even sure if the event's going to be good, well, maybe it's not the best thing for you. Maybe you can be reaching out to people for one-on-one networking instead. Um, if so those are some of the things that pop up in my mind. I am a big believer in in-person networking events. I'm definitely a believer when you're meeting with someone one-on-one. If you are close enough to meet them in person, I
Mhm.
highly recommend that you're doing that instead of a phone call. If you're not able to do that and you have to do a phone call, I think that's okay. You can still get a tremendous amount out of it. And so those are some of the different factors. I do want to end on, and hopefully this is not going to blow too many people's minds, but because I'm an introvert I've been to, I'm probably not exaggerating, I have been to hundreds and hundreds of networking events. I don't know the exact number, but it's an insane number. And what I realized is, well, I can teach networking for people that never ever want to go to a networking event.
Mhm.
So if you employ LinkedIn properly, if you employ making sure that there's strong commonalities that you can have in place with people, you can never leave the comfort of your home and you can still be an amazing networker. So I just wanted to throw that out in addition to, because sometimes people get super scared about networking events and they're not critical if you know what to do.